There's a writer for the right-wing publication, The Daily Caller, named Ford Springer. And he wrote a weird article that went after Barron Trump. That's the president's 11-year-old son. It's titled, "It's High Time Barron Trump Starts Dressing Like He's in the White House." Okay, fuckface, let's see what he has to say. I've been on the Barron Trump train, from the start. But it's about time the president's son starts dressing the part. Barron is the youngest son of Donald Trump and the only child the president shares with Melania. Time and time again, Barron has proved that he's just a normal 11-year-old kid, despite the fact that his dad is the president of the United States and he lives in the White House. One thing that isn't normal, though, is the way he dresses when he joins his parents for a public appearance. Barron was returning to the White House from New Jersey on Sunday, and while the president and first lady traveled in their Sunday best, young Barron looked like he was hopping on Air Force One for a trip to the movie theater. Think about how many times your parents forced you to dress up when you were a kid for a special occasion. No matter how hard you resisted, it was inevitable. You weren't leaving the house until you had your tie tied, your shirt tucked in nice and neat with your hair combed, and a blazer on. That's not how it goes for the president's youngest child. Donald Trump and Melania always depart the White House looking their best. The president wore a fine tailored suit, and Melania wore an elegant dress just as jaw-dropping as the last. But then Barron steps out in a t-shirt, khaki shorts, and some suede loafers. What am I missing here? Is Barron just better than I ever was at rebelling against my parents? Yeah, I put the blazer on and tie on and comb my hair and all that, but as soon as my mom turned her head, you better believe I was messing my hair up and loosening my tie. Hell, I might even undo a couple buttons on my shirt if I was feeling like a real badass. Barron doesn't have to worry about all that, but he should. His dad is always looking dapper and his mom has become a worldwide fashion icon since becoming First Lady. The youngest Trump doesn't have any responsibilities as the president's son, but the least he could do is dress the part when he steps out in public. I think I just got Ebola reading that. What the fuck are you babbling about, son? He's an 11-year-old kid. And this guy's mad that he wasn't wearing a suit when he was coming off of an airplane after a flight on his way back from vacation. You're outraged. You're angry that an 11-year-old isn't wearing a suit after a flight on his way back from vacation. Can you imagine being this guy? And his name is even preposterous. What is it? Ford Springer? I mean, you're like a walking advertisement or something. Your parents named you to worship at the altar of free market capitalism. What a loser. He's an 11-year-old kid, dude. Relax. But this actually goes to show you something about the far right. The far right, they view social norms and politeness as morality. They view tradition as morality. So, God forbid you, curse in public or something, they clutch their pearls. Oh! Goodness gracious! How dare you use such naughty language in front of us respectable human beings? Now, by the way, you could see this. This was reflected during the campaign, during the primary, the Republican primary, when a Republican group that was against Trump literally ran an ad of just Trump cursing. The whole ad was just Trump using bad language. Now, in their minds, they go, see, we're highlighting how immoral this guy is. But in the minds of, average Americans, they were like, I like that. Sometimes I curse too. He's telling it like it is. That's what he's doing. But to the establishment right, the elitist right, that's like the ultimate immoral and unethical act is using naughty language, or God forbid, you're not dressed properly for the occasion. I'm a golfer. I've been to some of these, very high-level private courses when I was younger. I've had friends and their families, members at these places, and God forbid, you weren't allowed to wear shorts at some of them until recently. Talking about 100-degree weather and dudes are walking around in full-length khakis. So, and they look at you like, oh, look at this degenerate. He's wearing shorts. That is unbelievably gross. Like, that's the stuff that they get outraged by. Now, tell them that their country just invaded another country that didn't attack us, and they're like, yeah, well, what's the problem? I don't see that as immoral. I don't see that as unethical. What? We're torturing people at Guantanamo Bay? We have extrajudicial prisons? We don't believe in due process and habeas corpus anymore? Yeah, that's fine. Where's the problem? So in other words, actual immorality, violations of human rights, that's fine when we do it. That's no biggie. We're the good guys no matter what, so that's fine. But God forbid you don't, dress proper, or you curse. Oh, how impolite you are, sir! I'm appalled by your atrocious actions today. So they're just stupid, is the point I'm trying to get at. Their moral meter, their moral compass is just broken. They were just raised shitty, and they act shitty, where they think things are immoral when they're not, and they get outraged over things that they shouldn't get outraged by. And when there's something they should actually get outraged by, they're nowhere to be found. They're fine with it. So, you get the clearest example of that in this article, and that's why I wanted to cover this article. He's going after an 11-year-old kid for not wearing a suit when he's getting off a plane for coming back from vacation. If that doesn't show you how deranged and warped the overall mentality is, and this guy's view is when it comes to what's right and wrong, nothing will. Because these are the same kinds of people who write articles talking about how the war in Iraq was awesome and we should keep torturing and isn't that great? And war crimes, schwar crimes when we commit them. Who cares? It's fine when we do it. It shows you how broken these people are as human beings. So get off Barron's ass. He's an 11-year-old kid. I don't give a fuck what he wears, and you shouldn't either.